Hi, I'm Lori Robertson with the Berkley Blend. Today I'm talking to Bridget Marley, who was recently the chair for the Berkeley Street Art Fest event, and Roseanne Nicolai with the Berkeley Chamber. Stay tuned. Welcome back. I'm Lori Robertson with the Berkeley Blend. Today joining me, I have Bridget Marley, who most recently served as chair for the Berkeley Art Fest event. Roseanne Nicolai with Berkeley Chamber. Thank you for joining me today, ladies.
Thank you for
Thanks
having
for having
us.
us.
Definitely a real treat for me. I am one of your biggest fans collectively. Tell me first, how did you both get involved with the Berkeley Street Art Fest? Let's talk about that first.
Okay, do you want me to go first?
Sure,
All
absolutely.
right. So how we got involved is really, actually, I have to say, a while ago, Bridget was on the board of the chamber quite a few years ago, and she had this idea of a chalk art festival. And it just wasn't the right time that the chamber could come and do it. And then recently, in this past year, we realized it was time.
Yeah.
And we were looking for an event to add another event into Berkeley. We have the Berkeley Art Bash that's in June, and our merchants really have said July's a slow month. People are on vacation, and so we were trying to come up with an event that would draw more people downtown, and the Chalk Fest.
Yes.
Going back to, we reached out to Bridget and said, remember that idea
Remember that
you
idea?
had a while ago? We want to do it.
You want to come back and help us out with it? And so I jumped at it.
Yep,
Jumped
same
at the
chair.
chance.
So it was all from Bridget Marley.
Oh,
Did not know.
And so the chalk part, so there was the chalk, and when we were doing some research to chalk, the thought was, again, to get people downtown, and our downtown's pretty spread out. What can we do, though, more, because the chalk would be in one area, to encompass more of the whole downtown? And murals, the thought of murals. Murals are be very popular, you know, down in Detroit. And if you go through Berkeley and you look, we have so many blank canvases. Our buildings are perfect for murals. When you look at the cinder blocks, and you got...
When we started the committee, there's a lot of talent in Berkeley, a lot of artistic talent. So when we got the committee together and we started talking about the chalk art, some of them said, hey, why don't we... And they started introducing us, the committee, to murals. And we're like, talk to us more about it. And so then it blossomed from there. So this committee that was just going to do some sidewalk chalk turned into, we're going to do chalk and we're going to do murals. And as you just mentioned, to broaden the event so that way we can, you know, basically, paint up the town from one end on 12 Mile all the way down to Coolidge. So it was
bringing in the mural part, that we then, the Downtown Development Authority, they were already talking about doing more with facades and things. And when they heard that we were doing that, they were like, we want to be part of it and jump in it. And also with the mural in particular, putting in a process. Because they're permanent, you know,
It was
that.
almost like a perfect storm of ideas that came together so cohesively. It's awesome.
Yes.
I have to admit, I was confused at first. Like, I was like, wait, the murals are chalk? And I think I texted Bridget and I was like, wait, what do I? She's like, no, they're permanent. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Yeah. A lot of questions we did get. We got more questions from other residents saying, is this going to be permanent? Because you're right, it's chalk and it's murals. So, you know, kind of separating the two and letting them know. And as soon as we told them it was permanent, they're like, yes. So it was exciting for the community that, hey, this is not just a one-shot look at. It was going to be something that was going to stay a little longer than just one event. So
how many buildings in total have murals?
Well, on that day, we had 9 painted. So 4 on Coolidge, 5 on 12 Mile. But there's actually a couple other murals that were already up that people don't realize. American Stamp Stop has one. The Pottery, Miles Pottery has one behind, which is next to Edible Arrangements.
Behind Armadillo?
Yes,
Yeah, Armadillo has a
so he has
beautiful
2
one.
now. Armadillo Printwear has 2, which is done by the same artist. And then by City Style, where in some girls they have the new one, and then there's still the older one that was done on the sidewall.
So did you then approach businesses and ask if they were interested in having a mural?
When the chamber announced it, a number of businesses wanted in, but we had to pick and choose for this event how we were going to disperse those, and then it's the pairing up of the artist and the business owner and what the concepts were. And I also want to say with the DDA's involvement, we secured top shelf muralists. I'm talking top shelf, very recognized muralists who do work in Detroit and other areas, and we were blown away when we found out we were going to get Paolo Panini, and we also got Malt, and the other one for
Bonus Save.
Bonus Save.
I always get Bonus Save on Patrick
the fact that we
J's.
got, especially those three, was amazing for the city of Berkeley. So
Because they're known.
they're very known.
That's
Yeah.
really,
So,
really cool.
Yeah.
and as we're talking with as far as the murals go, two of them on Coolidge, the two larger ones, the one on Nova Chiropractic and the one on Elwyn's, and then the student.
Yes.
That's all. Those were all DDA sponsored.
Oh,
so,
very cool.
So yeah, on Chet's, it was actually a student from Berkeley High School.
Oh, I love that. I didn't
Yes.
know that.
So yeah.
Yeah, she had entered a mural drawing contest prior and won, and so another artist came and did her mural at the community garden.
Was it
And-
at the community garden or somewhere else?
That was the community garden. That's where it was
Okay.
installed. And then, so when the DDA said, "Hey, we've got talent right here in our school. Why don't we ask her if she not only can create her own mural design, but actually put it install it on the wall?" So that was a
That is
real
really
plus.
neat.
And it was
Yes.
fun watching her
Oh, it
because every
was.
time you would go by, she'd have this big smile on her face.
Yes,
It was great.
and she was under the wing of Paolo and Malt, so they even kind of gave her some coaching. So
Yeah.
it was happening on Coolidge. It really
Yeah.
was. It
So
was.
she probably was like in heaven.
Gosh, could you
Yeah,
imagine?
cloud nine. The
great.
mural at the community garden is gorgeous.
Yes.
I don't know
It
if
is
you've seen it, but
gorgeous,
it is
yeah.
absolutely
Yes.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a great event.
Yeah.
I also loved that it brought traffic to Coolidge.
Yes.
And it brought so much more, I think, recognition to our Coolidge businesses. So that was brilliant.
Yep.
Do you plan on expanding for next year, do you think?
Well, we haven't totally discussed. We're hoping the chalk artists in particular to expand because this was our first year and it was really hard to get people because there's not a lot of chalk art festivals in Metro Detroit. I mean, I don't know really
Right.
of any
The
other than
closest was,
I know of Chelsea.
Chelsea.
has
Yep.
one.
So we may
But
have started the next
We're
trend.
hoping. We're hoping, but to get people to understand, what it was, even though it's a contest, and we did bring in a professional, David Zinn, as our artist, a professional chalk artist to do presentations and that kind of thing and to draw around the town. But the actual contest, getting people to realize, if you draw, you can do this. So, it took, we were pleasantly surprised. It took a while to get people to sign up, and it was
Yeah.
really the last week, and we had walk-ins finally. And some, when they finally started to see people, they're like, oh, we can do this. And we heard from people after they saw it happen to say, oh, I'm definitely doing it next year. Like, oh,
good.
this is
Okay.
what it is.
Yep.
Like, so it was really hard to explain because people have not seen it. It's not, it was easier to explain about the murals, I
Yeah.
think.
Yep.
Because people could see them even transform because the murals started earlier in the week and people could see them transform throughout. So I think people understand it more now, and I think we'll have an easier time.
If someone were to ask me what was the highlight of that day, for me on the chalk end of it, it was a dad came, and I don't know if he registered that day or just a few days prior.
He registered that day.
That day.
That
okay.
morning he walked
So
in.
he walked in to register, and we were all excited, and he said, I don't know, what are you going to draw on that? He goes, you know what? I'm just a dad, and I just want to give it a try. I mean, oh my gosh, talk about a goosebump moment. So he set himself up and he did the tortoise.
Oh, the sea turtle.
Yes, he did the sea turtle, yes. And just to watch him, and I had my camera and I was taking pictures. I got some really good shots of that guy. Because I was so inspired by his story.
so cool.
I'm just a dad and I wanted to give it a try. So then, his wife came and the kids came and they kind of saw him doing it. And at the end, he said, not only was this a rewarding experience for me, but next year, not only am I going to come back, but I've inspired my family to join me.
my gosh.
And so that is awesome.
So
And
they're all going
that's
to
what
have
we're
their
hoping.
squares next year.
Oh my gosh. And we did. And then Rogers, talk about Rogers.
Rogers
Yeah.
is so
Oh my
cute.
gosh.
Yeah.
So a teacher registered for her square, and then she invited all her kids, art kids, to come, and they all participated. And at the end, when it was going on, it was like, woo, that's a lot of design right there. But when it was done,
adorable,
when it
though.
was done, it was all shored up and nice
Yep.
and neat.
Yeah.
It was. It was.
And we're going
so
to talk to the
heartwarming.
school district. I mean, we were already talking to Mr. Sandoval during to say, we might want to do and have a section where
Yes.
all the schools and maybe have a special contest.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean,
Yes.
that's an
Yeah.
idea. Obviously,
Yes.
nothing's
Great
set in
idea.
stone. But the
Yep.
thought would be, because it was Nikki Stone is the art teacher at Rogers, and she said it was a great experience and said, oh yeah, she said, I would definitely talk about this up. And so thinking maybe we could do something where it's a contest, the schools, and having that one section.
I bet
so
you
that,
could do that with high school students too.
yeah, well, yeah,
Yes,
that's what we're
yes.
thinking
Each category.
Boy,
You'd have
that would
different
be
categories.
so-
Yeah.
So we'll
Yeah.
see.
How big was your turnout? We all voted. I voted. How big was the turnout?
There was
Were you happy with it?
1,008 votes. That was just
my
the people who
gosh.
voted, and there were so many people who we didn't get a chance to, put a ballot in their hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then all the traffic along 12 Mile and Coolidge, and just people looking at the murals. So we're estimating probably about 2,000.
Yeah, I would say 2 to 3. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
amazing. And then the other neat thing about that is that afterwards, the businesses right there on Coolidge all came back and said, we had the record Saturday of our business.
Yeah.
I would believe that.
Yeah, the
Lake Home Decor.
Lake Home Decor,
Tallulah?
the oh my gosh, the cannolis, holy
Yeah, the
cannolis,
cannolis, yeah.
sold out of everything. Everything
Wow.
was sold out.
Wow.
And the eyeglass factory, I was just there today, picking up a shirt. He said that they still have business coming in,
Yeah.
new business off of that event
Which,
2 weeks
from a
ago.
chamber perspective, when we look at bringing an event to, our thought is we are, and what our hope is, because I think we really brought people out that lived in the community, and I know we did definitely get people in Royal Oak, because I was on the shuttle at times taking people to the murals talking, and I would ask, where'd you hear? So a lot of it was Berkeley, but we had quite a few from, I would say, Royal Oak area. I think what I envision is this growing, and like how Art Bash is, because Art Bash, we get like 8,000 to 10,000 people.
Art Bash is
the hope,
like my favorite event.
Yeah.
But yeah.
so we're hoping if we grow with number of artists and different things, and this is so unique in the murals, that we'll get more outside people now that we've done it the first time, to really get them coming out on this day as a signature festival
Yep.
in Metro Detroit in July. And then the beauty of the murals as we do more is
Yes.
the idea would be is, because we do even more murals next year, is that people think, because you want walking traffic.
Yes.
You need walking traffic for businesses to survive in
Yes.
a downtown. And so the thought would be is people come out and say, oh, you know what, let's go look at all the murals in Berkeley. I've heard there's so many. Let's see if we can find them all. We have it nicely listed on the website, but they're going to be forced to drive around and walk
Or
around.
ride your bike.
Yes.
And ride
Yeah.
your bike.
Yes.
But I'm talking even people who aren't even within Berkeley and come out, and then they'll see and they'll notice the businesses, and that hope is that you get more walking traffic.
Yeah.
And that's really what we need in downtown Berkeley, is to get consistently more and more people walking and street traffic to see the businesses.
It
So
was
that's
a
in the long run.
Brilliant idea.
So
Brilliant.
thank you.
Yeah, it was
Well,
great.
I was going to say just a lot of
Yep.
help. I mean,
Yeah.
the committee
You know,
is
the-
very
it
strong,
wouldn't have-
and we had
Great job.
sponsors. And we
I
had
was going to say, it
great
wasn't going to
sponsor.
be put off until the sponsors. And the sponsors, it's as a business owner myself, it was a big risk. I mean, this is a first time event. I haven't heard of Chalk. I haven't heard of a
Yeah.
Chalk festival because there's not that many around. And they came out. These sponsors really put the money toward it so we can afford. I mean, because when people think of events in the downtown area, it's all because of the sponsors. It doesn't go off unless we've got the money to support it. And so a huge thank you to the McCarty team and
Yep, from
Beaumont.
Century 21, yep.
And then some of the in-kind sponsors, Dayglow for all the paints. I mean, Durst came out
Gave us some supplies.
Gave us supplies.
Paint,
I mean,
so-
just amazing sponsors from the Berkeley area.
And you could tell the Coolidge businesses, they were very, understanding and supportive of it, because each of them gave a little bit toward to make this event happen.
Yep.
So
We have a great community.
We do.
do.
We really
We
do.
do. And DPW for the use of the gator.
I might have seen a video of yours.
We love Public Works. Actually, Public Works does so much when
Yes.
whenever we have any of these
Yes.
downtown type events.
They
work
made
hard.
sure Dorothea, that whole parking
They work
area you
hard.
could eat off of.
Yeah,
I was
they do.
That department
My heart's right there.
they are unsung heroes.
Yes.
You know, I mean, we always talk about Berkeley Public Safety, and yes, they're
And they're
fantastic.
fantastic,
but
too, but-
DPW, that department is
Man,
amazing.
They made that area look
yeah, it
magnificent.
it still
Yeah.
looks sparkling clean.
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, and we're just really excited that we got an event that happened in July, and that we're able to have something in
Coolidge.
Which Coolidge, the parking lot behind in Dorothea, and even the next alleyway, if we can expand, it's just perfect.
Yep.
Concrete
Yeah.
for
It's-
chalk
yeah,
art.
It is.
That's all I have to say.
sparkly
It's
white.
nice concrete.
It is. It's like
You
the
don't always
nicest
see it.
concrete we have.
But it is. It was so. We were very happy.
Yeah, very happy.
Very happy.
Cannot wait till next year.
Yep.
I hope this becomes a yearly thing. Again, like Art Bash is that's my kickoff event for the summer. For the chamber, what events are coming up?
Well, we have pub crawl in August. It's always the Thursday after Cruise Fest.
Get your
be
sippy
there.
on.
So, and then September 9th, we help support. It's actually done by AOH, but the Irish Fest, which is
Oh,
down
excellent.
in, yep.
That's
and
in September?
That's September
Ooh, that's coming
9th.
up.
So that's what the beauty of this event, we feel like, Berkeley is
Build
getting
things
that we have, and think about it, there is a downtown event every month in the summer. There's Art Bash in June, Street Art Fest in July, there's Cruise Fest in August, along with the pub crawl, but the Cruise Fest is where it, really a lot come out, and then the Irish Fest in September. So
If there's a minute to plug the DDA's
Right,
Art and
and
About,
About, yes.
yes.
That has
That was my
started
next
too.
question.
Yes.
Vivian with the DDA has done a remarkable job, and the way they strategically planned Art and About was that it would then kick off the Friday before each one of these events were taking place. So it was the Friday before Art Bash, it was the Friday before the Berkeley Street Art Fest, and then you also have, the Girls'
be
Night
a-
Out.
yeah.
Ladies' Night Out,
I mean,
yeah.
it was just boom, 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 and
Yeah.
it's
It'll end
just
up being, because they're
amazing.
doing it in September too.
Yeah,
It'll
all
be
the way
the
through
Friday
October.
night before. It'll be the Friday night before Irish Fest too.
Yep.
Oh, it's
So,
perfect.
It
so
is,
yeah,
it
and
is.
Art and About's been really fun,
yeah,
too.
and,
It has
and
been
Art and
awesome.
About is great with how it was the Berkeley Street Fest with the murals. It was really good because murals are such a process. So a lot of people, we at first were worried, like, would they only come out Friday and then not come back and see the chalk? But no, because they wanted to see the final.
Yeah.
They would come back.
brilliant.
Yes.
Girls.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so that
Well, and that
arrangement
was
between the two
Vivian's,
was awesome.
yeah, the DDA's, the Art and About is all the DDA, and and again, creating foot traffic, and the DDA's, the Lady Nights Out are those are 3 times a year, March, July, and October. I think the October one's October 5th. So there is just, there
lot
is
to
a
do.
lot to do and a lot of fun things, and there's a lot of great shops in Berkeley. So
gives
if your
residents
if your
a
viewers
reason to
haven't
go-
visited
yeah.
them,
Yep.
they need
Yeah,
to
it gives
check them out.
residents a
They're
reason to go into some of
great
these stores
shops.
that they drive by all day and think, oh, someday I'll go in that
Yeah.
store. Well, now
Go, and then they know what's
going.
there. They
Yeah.
realize,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I need to come
Yep.
back for this. I always say you can get you really can get all your gift shopping like at the holidays. I'm like, unless you want electronics, you really could get
Absolutely.
all your
Yeah.
gift shopping done in Berkeley.
I have 4 kids, have their own graduation parties, and I am proud to say that those graduation parties, everything is purchased. in Berkeley.
wonderful.
Awesome.
Supporting the small businesses. I think it's very important. I lived in Berkeley pretty much my whole life. I'm a huge supporter. I love the passion. I can feel your
Yes.
passion, and I'm right back there
Yeah.
with you. I love our city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
So-
Berkeley stepped up a vibration or two just in
Absolutely.
the last few
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
few months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for coming
Thank
in. I
you for
cannot
having
believe
us
we're out of time.
Oh,
I know. There was so much to talk about too.
Yeah.
I'll have to have you back as reoccurring guests.
thank you.
We'll have got to talk about all the events coming up.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll have to
we'd
start
love to.
working on the winter events.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah,
Winterfest.
we'll have to think something, right?
We'll have to start on that. So,
Yeah. Good
are you ever looking for volunteers or, where can people find you?
Okay, so we do look for volunteers at Chamber for our different events at times. So usually if you go to the Chamber website, we have a volunteer area and it'll say who to contact.
Okay.
If you have an interest in a certain thing, you can, and we'll put you on the list. And then usually we just send out to say, here's some volunteer opportunities and that. And the DDA has certain committees to sit on, and they probably would reach out to the director to see what's open and available.
Yeah.
So.
I'd suggest that people follow the Downtown Detroit, the Downtown Berkley Facebook page and the Berkley Chamber Facebook page, because that's when you're going to you'll be in the know, because you'll know what activities are coming up, what events are coming through. So Downtown Berkley and the Berkley Chamber
and
Facebook
the Chamber
pages.
has a calendar on their website that we try and fill in as much as possible if people let us know they have a Berkley event. And then we do, because a lot of times a lot of the businesses also have events and certain things going on, and we try and promote those too.
Before we go, Roseanne, tell people how they can join the pub crawl.
Go to berkleychamber.com, click on pub crawl, and there's a registration form right there.
I think it's $20.
It's $20.
Comes with a T-shirt.
It does. Well, supplies last,
Well,
so
supplies
you
last.
want to pre-register, because
Correct.
usually if you don't pre-register, you end up not with one. And it's $10 more if you register at the door.
Correct. It's $30 at the door. So
And there's 10 locations this year, so it's the biggest ever. We have a shuttle that will also, because since it's throughout the city, so it's not just downtown. We do have Crispelli's on Woodward, so but yep, it's a fun time.
Do you know where you're ending? Or is
We're
that a
ending
secret?
we're ending at American Legion, which is great. We ended
Yeah.
there last year, and it was a perfect venue for
I didn't
that.
get to go last year
So.
because Rob had to work, but we're definitely in this year.
great.
Wonderful.
We'll have our matching shirts on.
Yes,
kinda
another
like
one,
us.
right?
Thanks so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. I love you girls. I'll see you on the streets.
Yes,
Yep,
you will.
you will.
Yep, definitely at the pub crawl.
All right.
Thanks so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.